Hi everyone, I'm Gautam aka The Seeker of Wisdom. I'm a manifestation coach, and in this video, we're going to be talking about a client success story of mine. Now, before I do so, I'd like to remind you guys I am available for coaching, so I offer hourly, monthly, email, and DM coaching. The link will be in the description down below for an FAQ page where you guys will have all the answers you need, and thereafter, you guys can reach out to me via Instagram or email for pricing information and to figure out what plans may be suitable for you. I also have a Facebook group where I upload resources from time to time, as well as you guys can ask me questions anonymously if you wish to do so. And I also have a mailing list where I post articles from time to time, as well as my latest offers for coaching. And last but not least, I also have a Manifest Your SP self-study course, which is catered for veterans and beginners alike. It brings you from the beginning of your manifestation journey with your SP, and it really breaks things down, everything from say acronyms to things like topics like we are dealing with third party, and so on, and really like breaking all the rules. And if it's like really manifest your SP Bible, I would say, because it's like you really get the all the information that you need and equip yourself with the knowledge to manifest your SP. And I really try to simplify everything, right? Like if you see my Instagram content, like I think that's one thing that you guys really like is how I simplify things for you guys. So the SP course really gets to the core, where to the bare bones, breaks it all down, simplifies the things for you, and you can pick your routines from there, and which I've all explained about, and pick 2 to 3 routines, and you're set to go. And what's the neat thing about this is that I will update these informations as time goes by, and if you purchase it right now, you will get those updates for free. And the other thing is that I will be bumping up the prices, so if you get it now, again, you will get it for free. But if you wait for those updates much later, like the prices will be bumped up as well. So this is a really good investment for your SP journey. So be sure to check that out and email me if you have any questions, guys. So without further ado, let's get to it. So this was a success story from a client of mine who I've been coaching for a while now, since February, from on and off. And she checks in with me, and she books sessions with me, like 1 hour plus 1 week DM and stuff like that. And she really goes into detail on, like in her story, like how she has been having success in a few areas of her life, namely business and SP. So I'm going to be reading the story, and I'm breaking it down, and like explaining it to you guys. And so without further ado, like yeah, let's start. So I'll be looking at the screen as with all my success stories, because I have to like see my laptop, so hope you guys don't mind. So she goes, "Hi Gautam, I had so much movement since our last session. With my business, I went into the mindset of it being a $1 billion successful business, like you told me. I would come into work with a successful mindset and set intentions for the day, for how much I wanted to earn and what I wanted to achieve, and do some money affirmations. I released the stress and just assumed everything is working out in my favor. Within a few days, my sales for the day started tripling, and the number of customers also went up. I am seeing so much movement each day and feeling so much more positive and excited for my business again. Thank you so much for always reminding me that everything in my reality is always working out favorably for me, and to assume and to always assume the best." Yeah, so with her business, what she did was, I think in one of the calls that we had, I told her, approach your business like as though it's $1 million business, not like it's a startup, not like it's a small humble business, and so on, right? So for context, she's I think it's a cafe of sorts, right? That she's handling at the moment, and she has like multiple different ventures as well. So this was one of her ventures, and where she said, like, I started like going into this, walk into my office, with that perspective, and like things started like tripling, and I was really happy to hear that, because she took my advice wholeheartedly, and she just went in and applied, right? And that is the kind of, even for me, like that's what I do with my business, and like with money as well, because she wrote money affirmations as well, which I love writing money affirmations. And that really works as well. And I think that mindset of like approaching her business as though it's already a $1 billion business, that plus the affirmations that she has been doing for money, really cemented into her subconscious. And she has been having like triple the income. And what she did also was to set the intentions for that day, for how much she wanted to earn and what to achieve, right? And that is really important as well, because like for me, like setting the intentions for the day, like, okay, may everything be favorable for me, may the day go smoothly for me, and those kinds of things, right? So she set the intention for like how much she'd like to earn as well throughout for the day and everything, right? And these things combined really, made her business like really go in, like reach greater heights of success. And I'm really, really, really happy for her. So if you guys are handling a business, or if you guys are, thinking about adding more wealth into your life, this is definitely a great way to go about the entire process, guys. So be sure to like take notes of all of these things, because this is really the key, right? Setting favorable intentions, doing your affirmations if you have any limiting beliefs or so on, and also like coming at it from as though it's already a successful business, right? And coming at it from that perspective is really going to help you to like dedicate yourself with that level, right? If you think it's a startup, you're like, oh, it's not going to go anywhere for a while, so I can relax and have that kind of playful mindset, like a lot of startups do, right? They will be fooling around a little bit here and there, but the prospects of it reaching a greater height someday may be high, but like right now it's not going anywhere, so you're going to be taking it chill and easy. We're going to be very playful about the whole thing. That's the startup culture, right, in general. But if you approach it from, okay, this is going to be $1 billion business, like right from the beginning, what are you going to do? You're going to be like, okay, I'm going to buckle down and focus. I'm going to like dedicate myself. This is $1 billion company, it's not a joke anymore. Like, and you're going to come at it from that perspective. Like, think about how Elon approached like SpaceX, right? Think about how he approached his PayPal, right? I remember, I think him and his brother, I'm not sure if it's PayPal or if it's another company, but I believe it's PayPal. Like, be sure to like correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they were in the morning they were like hosting the website, but at night they were like coding, right? And the thing about Elon sometimes is that like he always approaches his businesses like as though it's already a successful $1 billion venture, even before those companies even show signs of that, right? Like Tesla was a good example back in the 2008 2009 era, when financial crisis was like really very fresh. And he like was one of the co-founders of Tesla, right? And like he started to treat it like a very successful business right from the start, and like and look where is it right now, right? And it's all about the mindset, right? It's all about dedicating yourself. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you are someone into like businesses, that's something for you guys to note. And I'm really proud of this client once again. And also, of course, set your intentions for the day, how much you'd like to receive. In this case she wrote earn, but like I would say like receiving, in general, how much money you like to receive, and like setting some intentions for that even. Or like if you are having a freelance, for example, you can set like what she did, like how much you'd like to earn. And also I think doing money affirmations really helps as well. You can write down your money affirmations by timing yourself, and stuff like that. I feel like that will really help you guys as well. So yeah, and the next part of it, she says, I have also had some movement with my SP. When I first booked the session with you, it was because I was spiraling with my SP, had said some unfavorable things, and I was really hopeless about the situation. 2 days after our session, after continuing with the favorable mindset and continuing with my affirmations and scripting, my SP reached out and wanted to see me. I've not seen him since Feb, right? So I think like in one of our more recent sessions, right? She told me like what happened with her SP and everything, and she was definitely like feeling a little hopeless about the situation. But like after like talking and after discussing that, I think she felt better. And her SP reached out and like wanted to see her. And and he reached out. Not just that, like what she says later, like I've not seen him since Feb. Since then he has reached out a couple times. I'm positive about the movement and will keep persisting and get committed, and get my committed relationship, sorry. So like he didn't just reach out like once, he reached out a couple times thereafter. So like she just changed her perspective, right, to think favorably and to put herself first as always, right? And I think she really simplified everything after our session as well. Like she says, after continuing with a favorable mindset and continuing her affirmations and scripting, right? So sometimes all people need to do is to really just sit down and focus and simplify and narrow it down to their routine, not complicate the process for themselves, and stick to what they know best, and keep going until it shows up. And it did, right? Like it was what, like 2 days after our session. So it doesn't take long, guys. It doesn't take long if you buckle down and focus honestly. And that's the main thing, is I would say, is Focus is so underrated. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. Like, I was talking to a friend yesterday, and I was like telling her, sometimes people have the attention span of a monkey these days. Like, I'm not even kidding, right? Like, it's sad. Technology has a huge role to play with it. And my friend who's in the acting side of things, she was telling me that people were telling her, like, like, even for auditions or something like that, right? Like, sometimes, like, nowadays they only give like maybe 20 seconds to sell yourself, right? To convince the panel or the judges or whatsoever. Like, you have 20 seconds, right? To convince you and to sell yourself, basically. 20 seconds. That's one third of a minute, like, and like, even like TikToks and I think Reels on Instagram, I think, like, really does well, according to some people, when it's like 20 seconds or lesser than that, right? That's one of the same friend actually said as well. And I'm thinking, like, why? Like, that is how much our attention has, like, been shrunk due to technology. Part of the reason why platforms these days are pushing like a minute long or even shorter like video content being there, is because, like, that's how like little our attention span is, right? And I think, like, if you're a YouTuber or whatsoever, you can see like your audience retention rate, right? And I wouldn't like expect people to sometimes sit down through a 20-minute video, like just sitting down and watching it. Of course, you would be opening up like a couple of different browsers, like you would be doing something and so on. Fair enough, like I do that too. But like, this represents a overall like crisis in our generation, I would say, or in our time. And like, that's why focus is so underappreciated and underrated, in my opinion. Like, if she can get results, like, and movement within like 2 days after a session, it's because she sat down and she focused, and she maintained a favorable mental diet, and she devoted herself, right? So if you feel like, okay, I'm not having movement, I'm not having this, I'm not having that, ask yourself, okay, where am I going wrong? Like, am I not being consistent somewhere, right? Don't be so hung up on the 3D. And that's another thing, she didn't expect it to happen within days, she just went by her life and it just happened, right? So be very cool about it. Don't put your desires on a pedestal, always put yourself on the pedestal, right? And she goes on to say, thank you so much for always being there to listen and simplify all the overthinking and anxious thoughts, and for supporting me through my journey. You make it feel easy, simple, and achievable. And thank you for always reminding me to persist and focus in the end, and reminding me that the 3D is all thoughts pushed out. I will soon send you my complete success story, and I'm sure you will. If you're watching this, I'm really proud of you. You've come a long way, and like, I'm really proud of like how far you've come and what we have been able to achieve. So yeah, thank you. I think, like, like what she says, like, she has a lot of like sometimes like overthinking, anxious thoughts from time to time, which, like, let's face it, we all do. But I think, like, when she realized, like, for her, the thing that clicked was, like she said, 3D is all thoughts pushed out. 3D is all thoughts pushed out, right? Like, that's the thing. That's the thing that I really want to emphasize, is that 3D is all thoughts pushed out. So stop putting emphasis on that. Stop putting an emphasis on the 3D, guys, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Whatever you want, you will get it. And whatever that you're seeing right now, disregard your senses, right? Like what Neville would say, right? Like, disregard the senses of the outer world, and really focus on your imaginal scenes. And that is the key, right? So don't get hung up on what you see or what you don't see in the 3D right now, because it's a result of all thoughts and assumptions and beliefs. And if you persist in the new thoughts, assumptions, and beliefs, it has to come to fruition, right? It has to come to fruition. It's not going to go anywhere. And if it takes a while, wait, like, let it come to you, right? Go by your life, enjoy your life. It's already yours. It has to come to you. Everything has to come to fruition. And yeah, it's all going to be yours. It's all already yours in your mind, and it has to come to you in the 3D as well, right? Like I always say about the Amazon analogy, right? The day when you hit buy is not the day when it comes, right? It may come maybe a couple of days later, but at the end of the day, you're going to go by your life knowing that it's already yours, right? Take a similar kind of approach here as well. Your SP is already yours. The things that you want is already yours. And so yeah, don't get too hung up on like seeing or not seeing any movement, and like celebrate every milestone, and use that to fuel you and keep you in a favorable, steady mental diet. And like simplify your routines for yourself. Be consistent in your routines, guys, and this has to pan out favorably for you. If it's one thing that I learned from her with regards to this client, is that you know, like you can still manifest even if you sometimes feel hopeless or anxious from time to time, right? Like what she says in the second chunk, like she wrote, right? Like I was feeling really hopeless about the situation, and you know, 2 days after our session, after continuing with the favorable mindset and continuing my affirmation and scripting, my spirit reached out and wanted to see me, right? And this was like 3 months already. 3 months she did not see her SP in person, right? And this is a situation where she passes by the location where SP works regularly. You know, like she can if she wants to, you know, because it is a very small town, and you know, that's the thing. Like even despite that, they have not met for a while. And she did told me, like, you know, for context, like, you know, she does hear about SP from time to time through other people. It's just that she didn't see him in person. So, and you know, like that kind of, like, you know, made her like anxious and, you know, overthink some things as well. But you know, like as soon as she like stuck to her routines and be consistent, it all just flowed, right? And it's normal to spiral. It's normal to spiral. Don't beat yourself up. I There's one thing I noticed, that some people will like you know, beat themselves up if they are spiraling. They're like, oh god, why am I like this, why am I like that? No, right? We don't beat ourselves up here. We support ourselves. We are our own cheerleaders here. So you have to persist in the assumption that your desires are yours. Keep focusing on the end and dwell in the assumption that it's done and it has to pan out in your favor, right? So guys, this was a very unique success story because you know, like one, the SP one is still going on and the business one is also booming, and you know, I intend for her to reach greater heights there as well. So I really wanted to pull this success story, which involves both a business and a love story in this as well, just to kind of give you guys an idea of like, okay, what how does it look like when you are manifesting maybe like 2 to 3 desires, right? Because a lot of people tend to maybe focus on just SP or something, but for her, you know, she's been focusing on both SP and her business, and I wanted to show like how does she handle it and what is her process and everything. And you will realize like it's not anything special, right? All she does is like affirming, scripting, and maintaining a favorable mental diet, which, you know, all there is to it really. So you know, like techniques are really very simple, and you know, she has a very simple routine, but what she does is, as a conscious manifester, is be consistent with all of those things. And you know, and she really pushes herself in being consistent, and you know, everything just flows into her life, right? So that's the main thing. So if you guys have any questions about how to you know, handle like 2 desires at a time, you know, be sure to drop a comment down below as well. If this video resonated with you guys, be sure to drop a like, turn on the bell notification so that you guys will know when I upload a new video every single week. Be sure to subscribe, guys, as it goes a long way for me. We are closing into the 1,000 subscriber mark really soon. So you know, everything is all coming together, guys. You guys have been really supportive in all the things that I do. So you know, keep supporting the channel, and you know, stay tuned for more. If you guys are looking for random giveaways as well, I'd like to announce this really quickly. Follow my backup account. I will be doing some giveaways from time to time. I recently gave away a free 1 hour coaching session as well. So you know, if you want those kinds of things, you know, be sure to follow my backup account as well, guys. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and happy manifesting. Peace.